degree holder as well as teacher. She is a Vaishnava Vedic astrologer, a personal potential coach through Enneagram, MBTI, astrocartography, human design, palmistry, Vastu, premarital training, and so forth. So this is a wonderful opportunity to get to know her and see if you need any of these savas. It's so nice to have a Vaishnavi guide us in any of these areas in life. She currently resides in Mayapur along with her wonderful husband, and she regularly teaches Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. She's the director and as well as founder, if I may add, of the Village of Love NGO Charitable Trust. She travels for lecturing and presenting seminars in several languages that include English, Kannada, Hindi, Spanish, etc. She has authored 7 books. How to Mess Up Your Life with Astrology. We have that right here. Several of these books, if you'd like to order, please feel free to contact me. I can take your order and then we can get it. This is another one, Are You Ready for Saturn? Very interesting book. This is The Wild Side Inside. Another very interesting book. Some of the other books are Nakshatra, Awaken Your Hidden Potential, Get Ready for Married Life for Men and Women, and Awaken Your Spiritual Destiny. She has a website called www.sriradhagovindadasi.com. You can get to know about her courses, book an appointment with her for any of these wonderful services she offers. Today's lecture is especially wonderful because several of us have grown up or have worshipped deities and have a very special attachment to deities. We have our wonderful Sri Nitai Sachinandan. So what she's going to touch upon is the glories of self-manifested deities and how they came into being. So I really hope you all are able to pay attention and check out of this world and check into this world of spiritual ecstasy and just tune in and enjoy. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Good morning. Okay. Hare Krishna. This is a history, is a very important literature and historical.
This battery is dying.
Okay. It seems the battery is low. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Oh yeah, this is better. So this is a history quoted in Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the greatest Puranas. This literature is historical, it's not mythological, it really happened. And the father, Hiranyakashipu, in modern terms, what we would say, because that's my professional field, I'm actually working on a thesis, and the topic is narcissism and characters of Srimad Bhagavatam and Mahabharata. So he was like Hiranyakashipu was a typical narcissist who was so self-absorbed, and he just identified others as external objects. And he would actually think they are all meant for my pleasure. It's kind of like a sense of narcissism. So he was very upset with this little boy Prahlad, who was his very own son, because the son wouldn't lie. He wanted the son to accept the father as God, and the son was not willing to do it. ಬೆಟ್ಟದಿಂದ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಉರುಳಿಸಿ ಅಸುರ ತನ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟದಾನೆ ಕಲಲಿ ಮೆಟ್ಟಿಸಿ ಉರಿವ ವಲಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಸುಟ್ಟು ಹುಲಿಯ ಬೋನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟು ಯತ್ನವಿಲ್ಲದ ಸುತನ ಕೊಲ್ಲಲು ಶಕ್ತನಲ್ಲದೆ ಪೋದನಂತೆ ನಾರಸಿಂಹ. So these were all the tortures that the father put this little boy through. He literally brought these huge elephants and he tried to trample the little boy. And magically the elephants, they were just about to trample, and then they just blew their trumpet and said, no, we don't feel to do it anymore. And all the soldiers just went mad and crazy because they couldn't control this elephant. And then he threatened the boy that if he didn't agree, he would make these poisonous serpents kill him. He even administered poison to the little boy, and nothing happened. The boy just said, well, this is very delicious. So this was the extent of narcissism versus faith. It's faith meaning F-A-I-T-H, not F-A-T-E. Faith always wins. But you know, I am just so grateful and honored to be in the presence of Nitai Satchinandan, because they're amazingly receptive deities, very reciprocative. And because I was here this morning trying to assist to dress them, and I was just like, wow, you're all so fortunate. And I was praying to them, what should I speak today in this Sunday talk? And they inspired me instantly, telling me that I should talk about deities. Because we have a mixed audience today, and some of us wonder what these Hare Krishna people do. They wear bed sheets and they jump and dance around a plant, and they jump up and down in front of wooden dolls and metal dolls. You know, what's going on? Sometimes we wonder. And even those of us who grew up in this culture sometimes wonder the authenticity or the proof to is really somebody inside that wooden deity. And to prove that point, there's a conversation in Mahabharata between Mother Ganga and Bhishma Dev. So mother and son. Here is father and son, the bad example, and there is a mother and son, good example. And at one point, one particular character called Satyavati, she asks Ganga, isn't your son special to you? Because Mother Ganga, those of us who grew up in India, we know that Ganga is personified. She is a personality, and she's also the river, right? And Mother Ganga, we call her Mother Ganga because she gives shelter to everyone who goes on her banks, anybody. That's why we call her Mother. So Satyavati was like, isn't your son Bhishma, who's biologically your son, isn't he special? And you know what Mother Ganga said? His uniqueness is not because of my looking at him. It's because of the way he receives that motherly affection. So in the same way, you may say, is Nitai Satchinandan a receptive deities? Well, the answer would very much depend on your consciousness, your readiness to receive that mercy. Because there's the macrocosm of the mercy of the Lord, the powers of the Lord, which is, in the cosmos. If those of you study astronomy, you actually understand the vastness and the fascination of this universe. And there's the microcosm. The entire universe is within us too. Not only we are part of that universe. So in order for that microcosm and macrocosm to align properly and we to walk towards the spiritual path, we need that internal alignment. So this presentation today is about what it takes to internally align ourselves and what we shouldn't do, like Hiranyakashipu, the mentality of selfishness, to think that I'm the center of the universe, that gets us in trouble. And he went to such an extent that he was willing, he threw the little boy from the top of a mountain. And then you see here, you can see at the end here, there is this Varuna Dev. He's the deity of mountains. He said, I'm not going to let him smash. So he caught him. So you see, that's the alignment of Prahlad. Prahlad Maharaj was so aligned to the universal energy and the power of the Supreme Lord that nothing could harm him. The elephants would change their minds. The poison will give an opposite effect. Even Bhima had a similar effect. The poison actually increased his strength. Sometimes happens in modern medicine. You take medicine for something and something else happens. So in Prahlad Maharaj's case, his just determination grew even more. And then the boy was relentless in his faith, but not in a fanatic, dominating, aggressive way. He was very gentle. He told his father, my dear father, I really love you so much. So I can't lie to you. You're not God. And that would agitate the father so much. Sometimes certain behaviors of our children agitate us. It's not the behavior of the child. It's something within you that's not aligned that is triggered. So that's what was happening with Hiranyakashipu. Okay, so at last what happens is Prahlad has that faith that my Lord is Vasauyati sarvatra tasmat stambhena drishyate Hari sarvatra sasarvatra stambhena drishyate. So at one point Hiranyakashipu asks, where is that Lord of yours that is, come on, saving you here and there, and how is it even possible? See, for those of us who are skeptical about spiritual energies, no amount of proof is enough. No matter what is shown, we will not. If we don't want to believe, we will not believe. And that was Hiranyakashipu, and he wanted proof. Some people say, "Show me God, show me right now." Yeah, but Prabhupada said, "I can, but can you see? Do you even have the eyes to see?" Sometimes I can't even see across the room without my glasses. How can I see God? So the ability to receive that kind of power is within you. And if you meaning the hypothetical you. So if, let me say I. So if I am willing to give space for that faith, miracles can happen. I mean, if you want to call it miracle, or if you want to call it the truth will be shown to you. We can say it that way. So the truth was shown to Hiranyakashipu at one point when he asks, where is your Lord Hari? And there's an explanation by our Vaishnava Acharyas. These are the saints in this line of disciplic succession of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And they actually define and describe that Satyam vidhatum nijabritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshvakileshu chatmanah adrishyatam atyadbhuta rupam udbhavam sthambe sabhaya namrugam namanusham. Actually, I'm describing this form of the Lord who is right here in the silver throne. He is sitting on the silver throne with the silver background here, the smaller deity. That is Narasimhadev. So he manifested from a pillar, just, it says Satyam Vidhatum, just to make the words of this little boy come true. Because Prahlad said, my Lord is everywhere and he is also inside this pillar. And Hiranyakashipu was like, really? Inside the pillar? Inside the pillar too? And Prahlad is like, Vasavyati sarvatra tasmat stambena drishyate. He's everywhere and he's also inside this pillar. And what does that mean? It's this statement, Vasavyati sarvatra tasmat stambena drishyate. You can replace the word stamba. Stamba means pillar. We have any pillars in this? We have any pillars? No. Well, there's a pillar in the altar, those two sides of the small pillars. But these were huge pillars. So that pillar can represent different things to different people in our lives too. The Lord is everywhere, and the Lord's hand, meaning, they say God's hand. So we don't know in which form. Maybe in Jai Shri Shri Nitai Sachinandan ki, Lakshmi Nrsingadev Bhagavan ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Where were we? At the pillar. So the pillar can represent different things. If only we want to understand what is the Lord's hand behind. So in this case, what happens? The Lord says to make, just that little boy said he is in the pillar. And the Lord had to, and Hiranyakashipu wanted the proof. So when he smashed that pillar, Nrsingadev came out. And it was such an atyadbhuta rupam. Nobody had ever heard, seen, imagined. With this modern, now there is this Apple Vision thing which newly came up and everybody's raving about it. And this is beyond comparison with the Apple Vision because it was unheard, unimaginable. Because Apple Vision only shows you whatever you already knew, but in a little different dimension. But this form as a half man, half lion with all those weapons in one place, and ferocious. And he had diamond-like nails. Shining diamond nails, no manicure, nothing, just automatic, perfect diamond-like nails. But that was a little bit scary to Hiranyakashipu because those nails, if women see, we say, wow, such a nicely manicured fingernails. But Hiranyakashipu was like, whoa, that looks like a really very dangerous weapon. Because you know what? When I asked my boons, I forgot to ask that I shouldn't be killed by nails. Because he was very intelligent, as Hiranyakashipu was intelligent, as narcissists are, but he forgot or he underestimated the power and potency of human or animal or nails. He said, I'll never be killed by someone's nails. So some important elements in our life, we skip the important details. So that's what happened. And Nrsingadev appears, and of course Hiranyakashipu was terrified. So the whole point is not, I'm not getting into the detail of the story. That would have been a whole different lecture. But I'm getting to somewhere else. So right after Nrsingadev came out of the pillar, took this little guy, little narcissist Hiranyakashipu on his lap, and he ripped open the belly of Hiranyakashipu, and he garlanded himself with the intestines of Hiranyakashipu. So that's like, wow, already just far out, right? Far out story. And then little Prahlad, being an empath, being compassionate, authentic, soft-hearted personality, he started to look back into the past and see how everything happened and how he was the cause of the death of his father. So he was a little bit in a, I wouldn't say depressed, but he was introspective. He was trying to understand what was his role in all this thing and what did he need to do. So what he did, as he was, especially you see this image here, that's him being killed, so Hiranyakashipu is dead. And at one point, Prahlad Maharaj goes on a pilgrimage. So he goes to South India, and he is in Melkote. And Melkote is a place in Karnataka, and he is with his Shaligram Shilas, and he takes a break from his administrative role, and he is sitting and meditating. And all his Shaligram Shilas are there, and he's meditating, and he's in a yoga pose. Prahlad Maharaj, that's origin. By the way, this was the origin of all the yoga. That this is the moment that happened in history. So Prahlad Maharaj doesn't yet know how to do yoga, but he's trying to align. Yoga means union with God. So he's trying to feel that alignment and try to process his past. Then he opens his eyes suddenly, and all his Shaligram Shilas are like divine kind of touchstone type of, I don't know how to explain Shaligram Shilas in English. How would we say that? They are divine stones which have very high vibration and potency. So he just sees that they're gone. And then he looks up to see that all those Shilas that he had turned into a deity of Nrsingadev. And not just a deity of Nrsingadev, but he was sitting exactly in a yoga position. And our saints and sages have described, our acharyas have described that this was the origin of all yoga. All the yoga people today, they must remember that this is the initiation or the beginning of yoga. And he appeared like that. If you, I don't know if I can zoom this screen, probably not. But if you, I'll show you more pictures. But that shows that these are all those Shaligram Shilas which turned into a huge Nrsingadev deity. And Nrsingadev said, hello, I'm teaching you how to do yoga. That's not the way to do yoga. So he came in this yoga position. You can see his two hands in the front like that. So he's, I mean, something like how I'm sitting, but his feet is more like down because the dhoti is covering his feet. And he's coming out of the mountain actually. Like he got attached to the mountain there. So on that hill, this Nrsingadev appeared, and this is Nrsingadev with chandan powder, sandalwood paste, and turmeric mixed. And here, he also has a mustache, you can see, very masculine. And in this, when they do Abhishek to this deity, you can actually see the Shaligram Shilas. You can actually see the different forms. So that was an amazing way that Nrsingadev manifested. When we speak about the Lord, any of the pastimes of the deities, we cannot speak about the deity without the devotee. The devotee who makes that pastime actually happen. The devotee is the cause of that particular form to be manifested. Because we can't not speak about the devotee. It's because of the devotee. And the devotees appear again and again in different incarnations to assist the Lord in different ways. And Prahlad Maharaj, by the way, he came during the time of Lord Chaitanya 500 years ago. When Lord Chaitanya appeared, the same personality, Prahlad Maharaj, appeared as Vasudeva Datta. And if you actually study the character and personality type of these amazing devotees who caused these super manifestations to happen, and then you study the characters when they are born later, that's why we believe in reincarnation, because it's real. They keep appearing. In Krishna's incarnation, the devotee is there, and then he comes as Lord Ram, and the devotee appears. Who we are talking about? For example, Balaram. If Krishna appears, Balaram is definitely there. Right, Rasraj? And he's a great devotee of Balaram. So when Krishna is there, Balaram is there. And then he appears as Ram, Lakshman, right there. And then he appears as Gauranga and Nityananda. So there's no possibility of the devotee not being there. And even Hanuman. No, he came as Hanuman, and then he came as Bhima, and then he came as Madhvacharya. And then he came as Murari Gupta. So these devotees, it's not about body anymore, you see. We're not separated by geographical locations or bodies. It's actually the spirit. So we can appear in different, you can say, ages, if our intention is to be aligned to the Lord's pastimes and the Lord's form. So I spoke about Balaram, so I have to say that connected to this holy place, Melkote. See, this is also holy place because Nitai Sachinandan has appeared here. But the holiness, the degree of holiness will depend on your consciousness and your openness. So that's ye yathamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that depending on your readiness, I'll reciprocate. If you treat me like a stone, has no life, oh fine, I'll be that for you. If you treat me as a friend, I'll be there as a friend. If you treat me as a lover, I'll be there. And that was Mirabai. Actually, there's this song, I just remembered when I quoted that. What is that? What's that Hindi bhajan there is that says, कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं गोपियों के बुलाते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं माया यशोदा के जैसे खिलाते नहीं. And the Meera one, what is that one? कौन कहते हैं नाचते नहीं, that's Gopi. Gopi Aate Nahi is Meera, I think. Yes. Right? So that song represents that he will reciprocate depending on your intelligence, your readiness, and your mood. And these are all the examples that we have seen. And as Prahlad. So I want to speak about Ananta Shesh. Ananta Shesh is Balaram. When he is lying on the causal ocean, Krishna lies on the causal ocean. Did you know that? And for those of you who understand South Indian language, this is the verse that goes, Kshirabdi Shayana Hariye Ninage Bekaite no Gokulada Benne Sakagalillave Halmusara Kadale Natakayetake Ninage Krishna Kshirabdi Shayana. So who we are talking about here, if you want to understand that personality and his glories and his pastimes, you need to understand one truth. That is the tattva, the theological, the philosophical reality of who he is. He's the master of the universe, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He owns the causal ocean of milk. He has a causal ocean of yogurt. He has a causal ocean of butter. Right? He owns everything. Especially, please remember the word butter. He owns that, covered the whole ocean. I mean, we're talking about ocean. We are in Portland, so you're talking about ocean. If someone owns ocean of yogurt and butter, would that person come and steal a handful of butter from somebody? Well, our Lord does. And that's what makes him special. So that's the rasa aspect. The mood, the mellow, the love, and the reciprocation, the personal aspect of the Lord is that Lord, that same person who owns the ocean of yogurt and butter, comes to Gokula, a little village in India, and he goes from neighbors to different neighboring houses to steal a handful of butter. How can you understand that with your logics and analysis if you don't actually understand the microcosm and macrocosm, and if you don't understand his prowess and his lovesickness? He comes to steal, and our acharyas say, he doesn't need that handful of butter. What he's actually, essentially trying to steal is your heart. And he doesn't want any heart which is like a rock, which is like a hard material. He wants the heart which is as soft as the butter. Whether it's the heart of Mirabai, is the heart of Gopis, is the heart of Prahlad Maharaj, or is the heart of the Brajbasis in Vrindavan. Their heart is as soft as butter. So he comes to steal that heart which is churned. Now, all those difficulties we go through churns us, makes us better individuals. Then he comes to steal it. So we're talking about that Lord. So there are personalities, devotees, saints, sages, who come to demonstrate that softness. And because of that softness, the Lord melts. So Anantashesh is actually, Ramanujacharya is an Amsha. He is the, you can say, incarnation. Balaram's Amsha is Anantashesh, and Anantashesh Amsha is Ramanujacharya. So he's very much connected with Melkote, because he established that place, the hill temple that I just showed you. And there's so many mystical, mysterious pastimes of that place. It's also very dear to me, because that deity is the Nrsingadeva I showed you, he's our family deity, Kula Devata, they say. So I was offered to that Nrsingadeva when I was 1 month old. My father said, this is your baby. So I'm the baby of Nrsingadev. And Ramanujacharya, he was given a mantra by his Guru Maharaj. And he was told, if you chant this mantra, anybody who chants this mantra will be liberated from all the sins. And he said, that's a great idea. And he said, but the Guru gave him a condition. You cannot give this mantra to anybody, because you will get the sins of all those people that you give to. And he was like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj also said, Naivodvije duratyara vaityaranyas. He said, I'm not afraid of that Vaitaranya river. Why? Tadvirya gayana rasamrita magna chitta. Because I'm so absorbed in thinking of the holy names that it doesn't bother me. We were actually having a conversation in the car while coming here about that. When we take initiation, all the past karmas get destroyed, erased, removed. But the tendency, the taste to commit those sins may not be removed. That we need to work on it. Like you need to maintain your computer, need to keep updating. I just learned that there is this thing that keeps coming up, and every time you have to click and update. So we need to do the same thing with our mind and consciousness, maintenance, cleaning. So Ramanujacharya was attacked. There was an attempt to murder him. Yeah. So besides the fact that he was such an open personality, that he, right after taking initiation, Om Namo Narayanaya, that was the initiation mantra he got. He went up. Actually, I had a picture. I don't know if I have it here. Let me see. Maybe I didn't copy that one. But there's a picture of him standing on the top where the whole village can hear him. And the first thing he did was what his guru told him not to do. And he just gave out the mantra to everybody. And the guru is like, what did you just do? He said, I just gave a chance for everybody to be liberated. And he said, what about you? He said, don't worry about it. So that's a great personality who have so much faith. Why this Ramanujacharya, you see, 80 years of his life he lived in Srirangam. And he lived 12, if I'm not mistaken, 12 years. He lived in Melkote, but he was living incognito. And for a personality like Ramanujacharya, I mean, imagine Balaram, Anantashesh, going and living in incognito. Because there were a lot of people who were opposing Vaishnav culture. So they ordered for Ramanujacharya to be killed. There was a lot of enmity between Shaivites, those who worshippers of Lord Shiva, and worshippers of Vishnu. So the intensity became so much that he was ordered to be killed. And there are many, many stories of the assistant who takes the place of Ramanujacharya, where those people pull out the eyes, thinking that it's Ramanujacharya. But it wasn't him. So he actually ran away to Melkote because he needed to protect the Sampradaya. He had a lot of homework still to be done. So we could all get to, Vaishnava cultures. We can get the knowledge of Vaishnava Dharma. So he was there, and this is the holy place where the Nrsingadev appeared, that Ramanujacharya took sannyas. And while he was there, while Ramanujacharya was there, a couple of very important pastimes happened. And how many of you went on the yatra with Ramapad Maharaj to Melkote In Udupi, okay, excellent. So she has been there. Radha Shakti, am I right? You're Sarva Shakti, right? Yeah. Sarva Shakti Devi has been to this place, so let us all touch her. She has the potency of this holy dham. So Ramanujacharya, did you go to that place where he took sannyas? So it's a little bit further inside, and there's a little pukur like that, and that's where Ramanujacharya took sannyas, and he sat there and chanted, and then deity appeared to him saying, I'm here stuck. That's Chelvanarayana Swami, you saw yes, Ramapriya. Ramapriya I'm showing next, but there is a deity. See, in South India there's always, even here we have big Gaurnitai, and then we have small Chota Gaurnitai, right? They're called the big one. They appeared in the dream and said, we are under the earth. So then when they actually watered that part of the earth, they found this huge, so gorgeous. What I want to quote today is, the deity that you're seeing in the hands of Ramanujacharya was stolen by a Muslim king and taken away. And Ramanujacharya was like, come on, this is not done. I mean, actually, he didn't yet know the deity, but he knew that it's been stolen. And he said, we need to get the deity back. So he goes to the kingdom. The king and all the soldiers and ministers are all seated. And Ramanujacharya enters. The Muslim king is like, there was always a hierarchy. We are in administration. Yeah, you are a sannyasi. Hello, welcome. Yeah, here is your dry fruits. There was a kind of a relation. And so Ramanujacharya requested, look, you have a possession that belongs to us. It's with you. And he said, what kind of possession? I mean, we're talking to a Muslim king, right? And the Muslim king is like, yeah, deity. Okay, that was his mood. So Ramanujacharya said, yes, you have my Selva Pillai. And he said, what is Selva Pillai? He said, not what is, who is. He's our Lord. And he's my boy. And the Muslim king is like, yeah, your boy. Call your boy. If he comes to you, take him and go. And then Ramanujacharya, okay, deal? Yeah, the Muslim king said, yeah, deal. So Ramanujacharya calls, Selva Pillai, Selva Pillai, Selva Pillai. And out of nowhere, in the presence of all these ministers and all these people, like magic, there's this deity which jumps in the middle of the assembly and jumps in the arm of Ramanujacharya. Of course, to the eyes of the people present, that's how it appeared. The deity, right? And of course, to Ramanujacharya, that's how it was. Krishna jumping at him, saying, oh, you're calling me? Here I come. Kaun kehte hai Bhagwan aate nahi. So just like Ramanujacharya called and he came, he can come to you too. It just depends on if you want him. Okay, this is the image where the bigger deity was found. You see, he was under the earth. And then they watered, and then this came. So that's Selva Pillai is one of my favorite stories. And attached to the Selva Pillai story, the Bibi Nachyar, she was the princess of that Muslim kingdom. She was very attached to this deity. So she used to play with this deity. And when Selva Pillai jumped to Ramanujacharya, Ramanujacharya took this deity to Melkote. She started missing this deity so much. So much so that she left the kingdom and she followed Ramanujacharya and she went down to Melkote. So if you go to Melkote, you will find a picture of hers, Bibi Nachyar, her attachment to the Lord. And of course, she turned into Vaishnava. She became a devotee and she lived the rest of her life in Melkote. So that's another part of the reciprocation. And even just yesterday, I heard some reciprocation of deities having with devotees, and it's so fascinating. We have our hair standing on end when we hear people around us having deities reciprocating, and it's happening to many of us, and it's just a matter of understanding that that's life. Everything else is not life. Okay, so that's, and here Ramanujacharya, there are 3 deities of Ramanujacharya because he didn't exactly die. Some of the great Vaishnava saints don't actually die because they have a missionary purpose. So one of the deities of Ramanujacharya still speaks. That's the way he gives instruction. And that deity is in Sri Rangam. Again, I don't know if we have enough time to get into the Leelas. I actually wanted to talk about 5 self-manifested deities, but seeing the audience today, I said, okay, we need a little introduction before the Leela itself. And then there is Ramanujacharya's, the body is still kept, and the body's hair and nails still grow. You can actually see the nails and the hair grow. Yeah, it's so fascinating. Oh, this is the image that I told you that he was giving out Om Namo Narayanaya to the whole village. That personality, right? And he, you know, in that time of exile, he converted so many kings, and there was one of the person, was a rich person. He was very much in love with his girlfriend, so much that he couldn't take his eyes off her. So that's the. He later on becomes a great devotee. So he is looking at the wife, the eyes of the wife, and he's just so attracted. And Ramanujacharya said, this guy is so absorbed. He's so determined. You know, no, none of us are perfect. We all have some flaw. But that flaw is usually highlighted by some great quality of ours. So that was this guy's situation. He was really dedicated, really loyal, very attracted, very absorbed by the beauty of his princess or the queen or whatever. And Ramanujacharya decided, I think it's time for a miracle. So then he told him, what are you so fascinated about her? And he said, her eyes. And then Ramanujacharya said, what if I showed you eyes that are more beautiful than hers? And the guy said, no chance. No way, it's not possible. Ramanujacharya said, are you willing to test? Are you willing to discover? He said, whatever I got to lose. If I don't find something, I'll come back to her. If there is something better, then, good deal. So he took him inside the temple. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva vilokayanti yam shama sundaramachintya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So with the power and potency and faith and devotion of Ramanujacharya, he was able to give that vision. And when this devotee looked at the beautiful form of Krishna, Shyama Sundara, and he just totally fell in love with those eyes and much more than that. So then he became one of the great saints. They even compare his devotion to the Alvars. So he became, because those qualities still remain, loyalty and dedication and absorption and good choice of being attracted to the right form. So then he was able to compose many beautiful poetry on the Lord, and he became a great example of a devotee. So these are the examples of how devotees can touch others, how you can be touched by the grace of a devotee, and then you can be touched by the grace of the Lord. And okay, I will also mention Madhvacharya, because Madhvacharya, as I mentioned earlier, Hanuma, Bhima, Madhva. Namma Guru Madhvarayarige Namo Namo Namma Guru Madhva Santatige Namo Namo Namma Guru Madhvarayarige Namo Namo. This is a song to glorify and thank our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and then it goes to Madhvacharya, and Madhvacharya is none other than Hanuman, and none other than Bhima, none other than Murari Gupta. That's the latest incarnation. So Madhvacharya came to establish Dvaita. You see, you always will see Madhvacharya with the hands like that. It doesn't mean peace, as like today's selfies say peace. So whenever I see today's photos like that, I remember Madhvacharya. So the real peace is to understand that I'm a precious child of the Lord. and the Lord is my master. So he established Dvaita. Dvaita basically means the Lord is the supreme, and I'm the servant. So this Dvaita. So this, remember next time you see that, remember Madhvacharya, Dvaita. And ours is, what is our, do you know what is our tattva? What do we believe? Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva. I mean, that's the most modern, most updated version of philosophy and spiritual culture that's established by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Ramanujacharya established Vishishtadvaita. Yeah, so Vishishtadvaita is about the concept that, yes, I am the servant, because, see, depending on the mood as well. Ramanujacharya is Anantashesh. He's Balaram. His mood is to see himself as specially connected to the Lord. I mean, the Lord is lying on him. He's the snake, the bed. Anantashesh is the bed of the Lord. And Balaram is the brother. So the rasa, the emotional connection, is that of a special relation with the Lord. Right? And Madhvacharya is Hanuman. What's the relation between Hanuman and Ram? Servitude. So his mood is establishing Dvaita. So that's the Siddhanta remains, but the mood shifts and then it reveals to us. And yeah, so that's Madhvacharya. And you can see Hanuman, Bhima. And okay, that image, this image. Sikkidanamma kadumuddu Krishna bhakta shiromani madhvarige. ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆರೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಡಗಿನಲ್ಲಿ ದಕ್ಕಿದ ನಮ್ಮ ಗೋಪಿ ಚಂದನವು ತುಂಬಿದ ಪರಿಮಳ ಭಾಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ. So this is a verse that describes how Madhvacharya found this deity, which is more than 5,000 years old, that was given by Narad Muni to Rukmini Devi, because Rukmini Devi never got to see childhood pastimes of Krishna. She only saw him as a beautiful 16-year-old handsome boy. She never saw him as a butter-stealing thief in Vrindavan. So she wanted to see. So Narad Muni gave her the deity, and that deity in the end of Dwapara Yuga got lost into the ocean, and then it was found by Madhvacharya in a very mystical pastime of his reciprocation with a businessman who gave him a present of a gopi chandan. You see devotees all wearing this tilak. We all wear this. It's very fragrant. You see he's wearing it nicely. So we all wear that. So inside a block of this clay, inside that very fragrant clay, was this deity. Very protected, hidden. So the deity waits for the right devotee to come so that he can actually come back to be worshipped. I heard there's a deity waiting to be worshipped here too. Yes, so that's the way it works. And then, this is that deity. You see him? So cute, very, very cute deity. And Madhvacharya gave some instructions to not touch his eyes, to not make any changes to the eyes, to not edit his eyes. But he's dressed in all sorts of avatars, as a butter-stealing boy, to dancing Krishna Radha, to Durga Devi. This is one of my... He dresses as Lakshmi Devi and Saraswati Devi and Durga Devi. Here he is sitting on a lion, like Durga Devi with the trident. But only one form that he instructed not to dress him as is... We just heard before this pastime, Narsinghadev. He doesn't get dressed as Narsinghadev. Except Narsingha, all other avatars he gets dressed as. Vamana, Matsya, Kurma, Mohini, everything he'll dress as. By the way, I was just thinking of Krishna being dressed like Lakshmi and dressed as Durga. As a girl, as Mohini. It's a rasa aspect there. And in that, in this Udupi temple, there are many, many mystical stories, many, many pastimes. But if you go there, you will see a little window. And that's called Kanakana Kindi. And by the way, Kanaka is Vidura. Vidura's incarnation is Kanakadasa. So there's so many, see, again and again devotees come. And so, see, back then, 500 years ago, caste system was very prevalent in India. And you will hear some horror stories about caste system in India. So one little bit of that horror story was that this great devotee was not allowed to enter to see this deity. He had to be outside. And he had so much devotion for Udupi Krishna that he would wait outside. And one day, some of these envious people caught hold of the devotee Kanakadasa and they started to beat him up. They said, you are untouchable. Why are you coming around the temple and contaminating the environment? And wherever he was tied and being beaten up, the deity was, how can you say? For example, if the deity is facing this direction, the devotee was tied in that direction. And there was a wall in between. And the devotee started singing. Bagilanu teredu. This was a song he sang. Seveyanu kodo hariye. He said, please open the doors and engage me in your service. That was the first song, that was a song he composed. And as he was singing that song, the wall just broke. The wall broke. This, I'm talking, just turned around. And so then they accepted that this is a great devotee. So these are some leelas. When we talk about Udupi Krishna, we cannot not talk about Madhvacharya because that's the reason he came. And we cannot not talk about Kanakadasa. And Kanakadasa met Lord Chaitanya once when Lord Chaitanya was on the tour in South India. And this image, again, we don't have time to get too much into it, but Lord Chaitanya traveled all over South India. He visited Melkote, he visited Udupi, he visited Sri Rangam. That's another fascination. The same personality of Godhead who did the pastime, then he appears as a devotee and he goes and visits those holy places. And then converts so many impersonalists into devotees. Here is Lord Chaitanya for you. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Sachinandan Ki Jai. And Lord Chaitanya danced. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced in front of Ranganath temple in Sri Rangam. And we have our Srila Prabhupada. See, for me, United States of America is a pilgrimage tour because Srila Prabhupada visited all these places. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani. It means that the holy place is holy only because of the holy people. So when holy devotees appear, saints appear, and they share their experiences, and they establish deities, and they worship the deities, that place becomes a holy place. And for us, America is also a holy dham, if you are in the mood, because Srila Prabhupada came here. And he established so many temples. And yes, I have more stories, but I have no time. So we will pause here for now. But in conclusion, just be open. Be open for the miracles that is happening and can happen within your heart, in your life. And today is a miracle. We are all here today in front of Nitai Sachinandan, glorifying his form, his holy abode, his devotees, and just enjoy Krishna consciousness, enjoy the spiritual energy. If you have any comments or questions. Those were the two orders that Madhvacharya gave, to not touch his eyes and to not dress him as Nrsimhadev. I'm not sure. You should ask Madhvacharya. By the way, Madhvacharya is still around. He's in Himalayas, listening from Vyasadev, who is his Guru Maharaj. So they're sitting in Himalayas and conversing Srimad Bhagavatam. And Madhvacharya is going to become the next Brahma. So this is in the Madhva line, everything is already queued up who's the next president, like in this country we are wondering, some of us have a guess, but in that dimension, everything is already determined. So Madhvacharya is going to become the next Brahma. So he's waiting there, so you can go to Himalayas and ask him this question. Anything else? Yeah, we have a session when tomorrow? Today. Tomorrow we have a session if you have questions and answers and we can go more into it. Today we have another special program. Oh, you want to see more? Okay, then I will end with this one maybe. This is Vibhishan. Okay, first of all, the golden thing you see. How many of you know the pastime or the story of Samudra Mathan, the churning of the ocean, causal ocean? Let me see the hands. How many of you know it? How many of you don't know it? Raise your hand. The churning of the ocean and the causal. Okay. So there was this very historical event that happened, which is like a like once in history that particular mission. Imagine two political parties coming together. So that was a situation. Two demigods and Deva, and that was producing many amazing things were coming out of that ocean churning. They were churning this causal ocean with mystical personalities and mystical objects were coming out of that ocean. And one of the objects that came out of the ocean is this Vimana. This upper one, the golden one you see, that came out. And Brahmaji, he later on gave it, and Lord Ram worshipped that deity. So this is like basically a self-manifested thing that existed for a long time, and you can see it even today in Sri Rangam on top of the Gopuram. So it's established there. That was with Ram. Ram worshipped it, and Brahma had given it to Lord Ram. And Rama, this I'm talking about thousands of years ago, and it continued, and it's still on the top of this temple because Rama gave it to Vibhishan. See, Vibhishan really was attached to Lord Ram. And Ram said, I can't come to Lanka, you become the king. And then he gave this Vimana to Vibhishan. And Vibhishan, you see, he's flying, he had mystic powers. But the only condition was, as he's flying, if he puts down the deity will not move. So the deities have their own desires, believe me. When you are dressing them, when you're making a garland, you may have an idea, I'll put this flower first and the other. Then suddenly some yogamaya, something will happen momentarily and some other flower will come in between. You'll be thinking, I'll dress them with green colored jewelry, and then you'll end up seeing them with pink turbans. So something happens when the Lord, when you are open. So something in a higher level happened to Vibhishan. He was flying through India to go to Sri Lanka. And right in the middle in Sri Rangam, the deity just stopped. And he wouldn't move. And then Vibhishan understood that, okay, the Lord wanted it. Like today we had to understand something about the backdrop. As you can see, it's a very contrasting color. So sometimes some things happen, then the devotee understands, okay, the Lord wanted it that way. So Vibhishan didn't fight. He said, okay. So then he gave it to the local king and he said, please worship these deities here. But on one condition, even today, if you go to Sri Rangam, you'll see that the deity is facing south. The head, the deity is looking at south direction. And usually according to Vastu, they don't place the deity in that way. Thank you. But this is because the deity is looking towards Sri Lanka where Vibhishan lives, where he lived. So this all this mystical details that you can see, if you can understand that there's a hand of the Lord behind circumstances in life. And as I said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced. There's a huge Ranganath deity lying in this place, Sri Rangam. And that's where the body of Ramanujacharya is there, where you'll see his nails and his hair growing. And every morning, elephants come, the face of the elephant and the back of the cow is shown to Ranganath. So when Ranganath wakes up, Uttishta, Uttishta Govinda, Uttishta Garudadvaja, Uttishta Kamala Kanta, Trailokyam Mangalam Kuru. Gaunita is already up since morning, but so when you open the Ranganath Ji's altar, there's a huge elephant's face being shown to Ranganath and the rear end of the cow, because it's very auspicious to see an elephant and a cow. So those of you who are planning to get an elephant or a cow as a pet, go ahead. It's very auspicious to see them early in the morning. And there are many, and usually we blow conch, right? When we open the altars, we blow conch. But in Ranganath Srirangam, the elephant will blow the trumpet in front of the Lord every morning. He'll come and say, woo! And when you go, that elephant is also trained to bless you. And that's a very auspicious time to go and have darshan of Ranganathji. And if those of you, anybody who knows this South Indian quote, you can help me with it. I'm not sure if I remember accurately. So there are three deities, there are three Rangas, the three Rangas, right? Adi Ranga, Madhya Ranga and Antya Ranga. So there are three holy places. And it's called, and then there's a specific uniqueness of each deity. Somebody needs to help me with the exact verse. Ranganathar, Nadai, Udai, and you know that? Vadai, I think, the three deities, no? The Ranganathar, Balaji, and Varadarajar. I think Varadarajar Kodai, because he has this very expensive umbrella, and Balaji Rudai. Balaji's clothing is always very gorgeous. He's very dressed very opulently. And Ranganathar, is it Ranganathar Nadai? See, that's why I said I needed help. So the walk of the Lord, when they walk the Lord, they have this style, the mantras, and very, very, very special, very unique. So it's a tradition followed for thousands of years. So it says there's no comparison to the way that this... who is the Nadai? Behavior, na? So there's no comparison to the Nadai of the Lord, and there's no comparison to how the Lord dresses, and specific deities who dresses. So you see, Vaishnavism, this Gaudiya Vaishnavism culture is all about mood. It's all about feelings and emotions, and every deity has a specific mood, has a specific emotion and feeling. Every astrological planet has a Vishnu avatar as the Lord. And that Lord has a character and personality. That's exactly the planet, how the functions are. So everything in this universe is a perfect tapestry. It's a combination of mood of the personality, the Lord. But who is the most amazing personality ever existed, ever will exist? Even Krishna got so fascinated. Narottam Prabhu was sharing with me how is it, Prabhu? Can you please share that? You remember that one? Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll try my best, Mataji. She says that if you create more preachers, the more devotees, the bigger the preacher you are. With purity, you create more number of preachers, more devotees. Right? That shows how pure you are, how great of a preacher you are. And that's why Srimati Radharani is the greatest preacher, because she made the God a devotee. When God devotee and came as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there's no other preacher better than Srimati Radharani.
Please sing along with me if you know this. Patita pavana hetu tava avatara mosama patita prabhu na pai beara Patita Pavana Hetu. So the meaning of this song is, of all the incarnations, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Vamana, Nasimha, all the incarnation ever seen, ever heard, will ever hear, will ever see, the most munificent, the most magnanimous, the most loving of all incarnations is who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Moshama Patita Prabhu na pai beara. So that kind of a master who doesn't even see who is qualified, who is unqualified, who is a sinner, who is sad, who is depressed, who is happy, confirmed. That's a confirmation, by the way. He does not consider. My Guru Maharaj often says, Gauranga is, he does, by the way, he never said, I'm God. Never. He never ever even, he didn't even care about it. He was so busy experiencing the emotion. My Guru Maharaj, he says, His Holiness Jayapatak Maharaj says, Nitai, Nityananda, the one you see on your left hand side, his eyes are always filled with tears. So when you're standing in front of him, he doesn't actually see you exactly as you are. He sees you blurry. So when you go and tell him, I want to become empowered by Lord Chaitanya, I want to become purified, I want to be blessed. And Nityananda is not looking at your qualification. His eyes are so wet. And he's like, who is this person praying? Whatever. They're saying Lord Chaitanya, let me give them whatever they're asking. So Nityananda is very easily giving the most difficult personal connection to the Lord. That is not possible even for demigods. Even the angels in heaven, they're dying to be born in this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission so they can get mercy. Because only in this yuga, by thinking bad, you don't get the results of bad. You have to perform bad things to get the result. But because of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, by thinking of good, you don't even have to perform it. By just thinking, I want to build a temple, you get the result of building a temple. By just thinking, I want to make a garland, you get the result of making a garland. So what to speak of if you perform the action? Oh, I can't calculate it. I think no IT person in whole America can calculate that. Okay, thank you very much. We can end here. Yes. Patita Pavan Nitai Sachinandan ki. Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki. Udupi Krishna ki. Ranganath Swami Bhagavan ki. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Radha Govinda Mataji ki. So this is for next session. They're like a teaser. How many of you guessed which deity is that? Yes. I feel like I didn't do justice.
Hare Krishna. Since Aarti is happening, please just stand up, and His Grace Braj Kishore Prabhu will lead us through Kirtan for probably next 15-20 minutes. And after that, we will have a small kids drama for 5 to 7 minutes.
Bangalore. Let's come.
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namah. Prabhupada. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Everybody. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Hare Ram, Oh, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Oh, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody dance. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Gauranga, Hare Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Jaya Nitai Sachinandana, Nitai Sachinandana, Nitai Sachinandana, Gaura Hari, Jaya Nitai Sachinandana, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari, Jaya Nitai Jayo Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jayo Radhe Shyam, Jayo Radhe Shyam, Jayo Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jayo Radhe Shyam, Jayo Radhe Shyam, Jayo Krishna Balaram, Jayo Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. कलयुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की।
जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्मत् अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की। नितला पुरुष जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्मत् भक्ति सिद्धांत श्री ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की जय। गुरु परंपरा की जय। षड गोस्वामी प्रभुवान की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री श्री निताय सचिनंदन भगवान की जय। श्री श्री नृसिंह भगवान प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। जगन्नाथ बलभद्र सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। चकर संजीव की जय। नीलाचल धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा द्वारिका धाम की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम भगवान की जय। श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्टसिक वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। स्कंद समस्त आचार्य गुरु वृंद की जय। मध्याह्न आरती की जय। मध्याह्न आरती रे जगदान करी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर सीतनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the Son of Hare Krishna. All glories to the Son of Hare Krishna. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Rupa Upadi ki jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadayine. Akashi Purvakshaha. Ito nisimha parato nisimha. Yato yato yami tato nisimha. Vahi nisimha hrudaye nisimha. Narasimhamadim sharanam prapade. Tava karakamalabare nakham adbhuta shringam nalita hiranyakashipur tanubingam keshavadita narahari rupa jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare tava tanubingam keshavadita narahari rupa jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare jai keshavadita narahari rupa jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare keshavadita narahari rupa jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare jaya narsimhadev 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 jaya narsimhadev jaya narahari 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 jaya narahari narahari जय जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 शिला प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय शिला गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल सर्व विघ्न विनायक श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय शिला प्रभुपाद की जय शिला गुरुदेव की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Sri Nitai Sachinandan Dev Bhagavan ki jai. Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Dev Bhagavan ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you everyone for coming for today's Sunday feast. We will have a small drama by the kids, so please wait for that. While he is arranging the props for that, we have few quick announcements. First of all, we had a wonderful class and last few days of Krishna Katha by His Grace Sri Radha Govinda Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, for coming to Portland and bestowing your mercy on us by sharing the Krishna Katha. We also have His Grace Braj Kishore Prabhu. Many of you know him from the past. He was one of them when we started ISKCON Portland, in Portland, Oregon. Another few quick announcements. Mataji talked about Ramanujacharya Anantasesh, right? In that topic itself, our own Nityanand Prabhu's appearance day is coming on 21st. It's a weekday, and we will be observing the Narsinghadev Priyodasi on 21st, 6 p.m. onwards in the evening. I believe the email has already gone out. I believe the further email with the details of the program will be sent as well. Generally, this service is done, the announcement is done by Jai Sachinandan Prabhu, but he is not here today. So the reason he is not here, because his mom, along with Param Karuna Prabhu's mom, both of them are in hospital. So we are requesting devotees to pray for their speedy recovery so that we can all enjoy their association in our congregation. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Just one more thing. Do we have anyone here for the very first time? If you can just stand up, say your name and from where you are and what brought you to this place.
My name is Jesse.
Jesse.
Grover. I'm from Utah originally.
Oh.
My sister brought me here today.
Thank you for coming. Are you just visiting here or?
Just visiting.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. A loud Hari Bol for them. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol. Yes, Hari. Nishika. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you, Krishna Keshav Prabhu, for bringing them here. Please come as often and as long you can. Thank you. A loud Hari Bol for Mataji and Prabhuji. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Anybody else here? Yes. Hare. Hyderabad. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mataji, for coming. Suryakanta Mataji ki jai. Let's welcome Mataji also with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol! Hari. Anybody else? Thank you. Yes. Sorry.
Before you. So I request everyone to please keep quiet and give them your full attention. It's a drama about real knowledge. What is the real thing that you need in life? We all go to school, get a lot of degrees. I mean, that's important, yes, to earn a livelihood. But is that the really important knowledge you should have? That is the question the drama will try to answer. Okay? So please give them your full attention and please bless them so that they can continue this service. In their own small way, they are trying to do this for your pleasure. So please bless them and encourage them. Thank you very much. Which side are you sitting? Then you should go here. Come on.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So much pollution and so many gas locals in this place. Oh my, the bridge has collapsed. How will I get to my lecture on time by crossing the river? Oh, look, there's a local ruffian over there. Hey, Botala, come here. Yes, sir. What should I do for you? I want you to take me to the other side of the river, stupid. Is it going one way or two way? One way. How many persons? Only one person, doofus. Do you see anybody else here except us? That is Okay? Now I push off the boat. Yee-yow! Okay, let's go. Very nice scenery here. Oh my God! What is it, sir? That's a belcher and a half, I tell you. Bells and calves? There are no bells and calves in the ocean. There are only fish. That is what you get in the river. I know that, you nincompoop. That's a giant dolphin. I think its Latin name is Delphinus stupidicus. I think you are a stupidicus, sir. That's just a fish. That's not just a fish. That's a marvel to behold, you denigrate and twitch. All foolish boatman.
Boatman, look here.
That Bobby Dazzle is going to win me the Nobel Prize. What is it now, sir? Is it another fish in the river? That's not just any fish. You pick up sparkling peppercorn for brain cells, human. That is the left-handed turtle fish. Left-handed fish? Okay, whatever you say. You're just expert and I'm just a ruffian. You don't know about the environment you live in. You don't know anything about the dolphin that lives in the river you row your boat in. I must say, 25% of your life has been wasted. Wasted? I would not say wasted. Although I might not be as educated as you in the fishes, every evening I listen to Mahabharat and Ramayan. Have you heard of these, sir? Of course, of course. All of them are mythology, either myth or logic. What is the use of your knowledge, sir? Do you know who you are? Of course I know who I am. I am the great renowned professor, Cran-Bottom Snotalot. Where was I? Yeah. I am the most renowned professor in the whole wide world. I have numerous PhDs in too many subjects to count. And either way, have you heard of the Big Bang Theory? I have not heard of any Big Bang swing swang. All I know is that my family has been worshipping the Krishna deity for many years. In the Bhagavad Gita, he says that he is the supreme controller and the supreme enjoyer. I simply listen to Bhagavad Gita. I have had enough of this religious crash course with you. All you do is dance in front of the little blue boy statue. Hey! Do you think Krishna is a statue? He is not a statue. He's a person like you. Not a person like you. A person way more better than you. The point is, he loves you. So why not you try to adore him? That way, you just won't be fatty, but you will be happy. The only people who love me are my wife and kids. Who is your wife? Queen Elizabeth? You don't know anything about the Big Bang Theory. You don't know anything, even a little bit about this universe. Not 25%, but 50% of your life has been wasted. Oh, look, it started raining. Oh, look, a storm cloud. That is Hurricane Patel. Huh? Oh, a storm cloud, you say? Let's take a look. That's not a storm cloud, you idiot. That is a Columbus nimbus cloud. Have you heard of nepiology? I have not heard of that, Mr. Gentleman. You don't know anything about the weather even? Not 25, not 50, but 75% of your dumb life has been wasted. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing, you imbecile? I am getting ready to swim. Why? As you can see, the storm has broken our boat. You see, the shore's not that far away. It's just over there. You can go and swim. No. I'll pay you 5 extra rupees. I have in my bag. Please save me. It is too late now. You can keep your money. By the way, do you know how to swim? I never learned to swim. I didn't need to. That means not 25, not 50, not 75, but 100% of your life has been wasted, you Indian. No!
Hare Krishna. So, thank you so much for your kind attention. So, the moral of the story is, it doesn't matter how much knowledge about this world you have, how many degrees you have, how many skills you have, but the real knowledge is to remember Krishna at the time of death. You should have essential skills, right? The other skills help us in a livelihood, but there are some essential knowledge that is needed. Okay, so that's the moral of the story. Thank you for your kind attention. So this story screenplay was written by Aniruddha. Is he here today? Aniruddha, right here, and Neelambar. And so Neelambar was the arrogant professor, and Gaur Govind was the simple but really knowledgeable boatman. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Professor Saab, would you like to sing the Prashadam prayer?
Okay. Okay. Mahaprasade Govinde. Nama Brahmane Vaishnave.